Are we headed for the next Great Depression? It's a question many have been asking quite a bit lately. What is it that our leaders know but dare not tell you? Warning, it's not pretty. Here are 6 reasons why the economy will never be the same again and why you need to protect yourself. It doesn't take a Fulbright scholar to know that the economy is not in great shape. Widespread joblessness, widespread homelessness, widespread foreclosures, widespread shortages that aren't getting much press. Businesses that are desperate for customers but can't find any, over-leveraged banks, and a constant stream of government spending and bailouts. Meanwhile, the cost of everything from housing to college tuition continues to rise. Where have we seen this before? The Great Depression of the 1930s was the most widespread economic collapse in the history of the modern world. That title, however, may soon be taken. And you must act now to protect yourself. There are very few people alive today that can remember the Great Depression. And as the saying goes, those that don't remember history are doomed to repeat it. The Great Depression was a period of time when a great number of people lost their jobs and housing. At its peak, in 1933, 25% of the nation's workers were unemployed. Many became alcoholics and homeless. For most, it was a dark and gloomy time. A time of want and need, when everyone was desperate to make a quick buck. It's no secret that today we are now living in a period unlike any that's been seen in our own lifetime. For the rest of this video, we are going to show you 6 reasons why the coming economic collapse will be the worst we've seen since the Great Depression at least. And what you must do to prepare yourself. Reason number 1. More debt than dollars. In the United States, money is not made of paper or coins, it is made of debt. The US government has been piling up debt for a long time now. No one serious is pretending anymore that it will ever be paid. As of the making of this video, the US debt was about $30 trillion. And that's prior to another massive spending program being cooked up currently. That's over 100% of GDP. Even during the Great Depression era, World War II, and a massive expansion in government, the highest it ever got was 38%. What's worse is even with the government constantly printing up money like crazy, it still isn't helping. Your leaders know full well how this is all going to end. At this point, it's an insurmountable hole. The real goal now is to keep handing out the IOUs with the hope that when the bill comes due, they're long gone. But make no mistake, the bill will come due. And when it does, reason number 2 will be coming right along with it. Reason number 2. Hyperinflation. We all know that inflation is a stealth tax. The politicians can't get something passed, so they print the money now. And then we have to pay for it later. The average American then struggles to keep up with hikes in gas prices, food prices, and the housing market. But for the most part, is none the wiser. Yes, this has been happening for quite some time now. But this time, it's different. 40% of all US dollars that have ever been printed in the entire history of the country has been printed since 2020. Just let that sink in for a minute. The Federal Reserve is just printing paper at this point to keep the Ponzi scheme afloat as long as it can. But at some point, those dollars just don't carry the same weight they used to. If you want to know what happens next, talk to a Zimbabwean billionaire. I can promise you, that title is not quite as glamorous as it sounds. Reason number 3. The murder of the middle class. The phrase, the death of the middle class, is not an exaggeration. The middle-class American dream is quickly disappearing, with the middle-class American right along with it. The shrinking of the middle class has been happening for more than 30 years, and this downward trend occurred no matter which political party was in power. According to a study by Pew Research, since 1970, the share of households that are middle income has fallen from 61% to 50%. It is no coincidence that so many people are struggling to maintain their lifestyles, live on their own without help, and afford basic expenses. Decades of wars, runaway spending, and poor economic policies that favor big corporations have all led to this situation. As a result, it is becoming more difficult for the average American to find their way out of poverty. The lack of a middle class is a hallmark of third world countries. And if the United States is going that route, it may indeed be time to heed the words of rapper 50 Cent. Get rich or die trying. Reason number 4. Small business strangulation. No one is feeling the burden of this new world order as much as small businesses. In the last decade, the cost of simply being in business has skyrocketed. In 2016, a report from Forbes found that more than 7 out of 10 small businesses have been forced to reduce employee hours and/or staff in order to cope with the increased costs. Then there are the regulations, which are always touted by politicians as being aimed at reining in big businesses while invariably doing the opposite. You see, big businesses have the lawyers and lobbyists to exploit the loopholes, while small businesses get snared in its net. Entrepreneurialism is withering away, and most new jobs are created by large corporations instead of family-owned businesses. The population of small businesses is decreasing every day, and we may be looking at a bleak future for these enterprises. The drive for big box stores and shopping malls has caused many smaller shops to go out of business, which in turn has led to the loss of jobs. The COVID pandemic may be the final nail in the coffin for what was once a robust small business class in America. It was very telling how mom-and-pop businesses were forced to shutter their doors while the corporate brands were allowed to continue on. It's a rigged game. Unless small businesses learn to shift their focus and presence to a more online-centered model, they will not be able to compete. Reason number 5. Pandemic planet. The pandemic has crippled small businesses, large businesses, and the worldwide economy as a whole. The only sectors that have been immune are the pharmaceutical industry and internet-based businesses. It has become one of the worst pandemics of the century, taking a toll on billions of people around the globe, if for no other reason but the reaction to it. It is well known that the virus has caused temporary labor shortages in many countries where people have been given the option to stay home and not go into work. But while this is happening, many companies have realized that they don't need the large workforce they previously employed and can be just as productive. Once they are able to do so without taking a massive PR hit, many of these companies will downsize their staff dramatically and permanently. The reduction in available jobs will certainly be a heavy blow to the everyday working man and woman when the government checks run out. However, it is nothing compared to the impact that will be caused by the real reason why the employment landscape will never be the same again. Reason number 6. Automation Nation. Although many recent changes in society seem to have stemmed from the pandemic, in reality, they were already coming down the pike. The pandemic only served to speed up the process. The biggest changes in society are being ushered in by automation. Automation can be a wonderful thing. It saves money, prevents human error, and gets the job done more efficiently. However, there is a price that must be paid for all these benefits, and that price is jobs. Driving, the #1 job in America, will soon be obsolete. Restaurant work will soon be obsolete. Customer service work will soon be obsolete. Anything that you can imagine a robot doing, a robot will be doing. It's simply a matter of time. And it's not just blue-collar jobs going by the wayside. Artificial intelligence technology is improving exponentially practically on a daily basis. Do a little research and I have no doubt that you will be surprised by what it can do already. There is no longer any question that it will inevitably replace humans in jobs across almost every sector. Now, I'm not predicting a war for survival as in some dystopian sci-fi apocalyptic film. But the war for employment. Well, that will be over without a single shot being fired. Bots don't need sleep, vacation, healthcare, childcare, pension plans, or even bathroom breaks. They will soon dominate what we know now as the job market. We can't try to compete with the technology. Our only choice is to master it. The new normal. As the forces that we have outlined continue increasing their impact, the world as we know it will soon be unrecognizable to many. But whether you believe in a higher power or just the power of irony, ironically, a counter-phenomenon is taking shape just as rapidly. An ancient adage is proving to be true. As old doors are closing, new ones are opening up. The key is to know which door to be standing at. We are officially in the digital age and we have to accept that nothing will ever be the same. The past paradigms will surely continue to crumble. However, the internet has now removed all barriers to earning an income for practically everyone. It's made it possible for anyone with a computer, a Wi-Fi connection, and knowledge of a few basic steps to live a secure and independent life no matter what happens with your job or the greater economy. And this is becoming true all over the world. Today, more than ever, making money online is not just an optional side hustle. Whether you're a stay-at-home parent, a college student, retiree, unemployed or underemployed, in this day and age you have to be able to write your own check to sleep well at night. Fortunately, it's still not too late to get started. We wanted to provide you with the most dead simple, yet super effective way to start making real money online. And we've done just that. No experience. None needed. No money. None needed. No skill. Then we can help. No will. Then we can't. If you're okay with simply complying with the plans your masters have designed for you, then go ahead and enjoy your noose. But if you are ready to take your fate and life into your own hands, there is no excuse. Click below and take our short questionnaire so that we can accurately gauge where you are, and quickly get you where you want to be. Once you've had a chance to examine and vet this opportunity, we only ask one more thing of you. Share. Share this video with everyone you can find. Friends, family, strangers, enemies. It doesn't matter. Right now there are countless people out there who need this information and don't even know it. It costs you nothing to share, and will earn you a fortune in karma alone. You see, as of today, you have been enlisted as a soldier in the new war on poverty. Your mission: to help bring about a world where depending on a salary is no longer a reality. Starting with you. So Godspeed. And happy hunting.